that's how many people thought they could get together.
So, cool, you got 6 a.m.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Or like charcoal, like the wood you'd put in the grill. Him.
Yeah.
Tenía azúcar. Pero te gusta. No, eso es azúcar.
It's still something. Yeah, let's see. What time are you around?
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, I knew.
No, no digo, es que siguen en vivo. Sí. Lo van a tomar hasta que se...
Ok, listo. So my dad worked in the military office like years and years and years ago. Oh. So when I was a child, like I had seen it before, but I don't remember that. So this time, very cool. And like the first event, which was the USA Olympics, I like took some photos and I kind of like stopped for a second. I put my camera down. I'm like, oh shit, like, I'm taking photos of myself. It's really cool. But like the real surreal moment was he did Biden did a Social Security Administration thing in Easter, and he like stopped to take photos with everybody. Made them wait for like 45 minutes, but then he came over and spoke to me, and I was like,
se viene mi gente, entrando y puchando de su laizote, que se viene la transmisión en vivo. Somos 158, por favor, vaya presionando ese like para que más personas puedan estar atentos a la transmisión. Se viene la transmisión en vivo de nuestro presidente Nayib Bukele y Donald Trump, así que vaya entrando y puchando de su laizote para que más personas puedan lograr ver la transmisión en vivo. Los dejo con el sonido ambiente del lugar. Ven.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Dude, when he was asking her about
there's a few other stuff like that.
where's the PA Yeah. Jim worked for that.
That's what I was saying. It's like, as a grandfather, if it was your own grandchild, it's not that weird. But like, this is a random person that you guys know. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, but
But I also think, honestly, that different experience of life in general. In what sense? They just kind of do
investigaciones que aquí el mar no ve.
La familia del salvadoreño arrestado también ha tenido conferencia ahorita cerca de la Casa Blanca. Ha tenido una conferencia de prensa hoy y pues esto es lo que ha ocurrido. Así es como la gente lo está viendo. Vea.
La comunidad, las organizaciones como Casa de Maryland para poder estar pendiente de este caso, y esperemos que, pues, como decimos, que la ley permita revisar el caso, que la ley permita brindarle la seguridad a pues los derechos civiles que cada persona tiene, pues tienen que ser respetables, ¿verdad? Entonces, porque para eso existen las leyes. Si fuera pues la ley de la selva, pues sería así, ¿verdad? Como sea. No habría ningún respeto por lo que son las situaciones, pero por eso existen leyes que pues protegen la dignidad humana también. Nosotros estamos acá caminando hacia la 17, hacia la entrada principal de la Casa Blanca, donde se espera, pues no sabemos si va a entrar por acá por la 16, por la 17, o va a entrar allá por la 17, la entrada. Pues nosotros vamos aquí, como decimos, caminando para poder estar a la expectativa, pero de alguna forma pues vamos a grabar lo que es la caravana. Vamos a estar por acá. Gracias por seguirnos.
Gente, somos más de 300 personas y solo tenemos 100 likes. Colaboren con ese like, porfa. Les estamos trayendo de primera mano esto.
A familia también muy cercana, en las cuales personalmente pues no me había dado cuenta del caso, y ahora sí lo quiero ratificar. Hasta ayer, uno de las personas que trabaja con nosotros en la otra empresa, pues me dijo de que era el hermano de del hermano de César, un empresario, un emprendedor, aquí también en Washington, Maryland. Tiene una empresa de botes en el Potomac, y por supuesto también es electricista. Pues toma relevancia porque se cree, no se ha profundizado mucho en la información. No tenemos a nosotros lo que es no tenemos nosotros lo que es una claridad sobre el caso. Vamos a seguir investigando más sobre vamos a tratar de que la familia nos dé una entrevista para que las leyes, para que las autoridades como los diputados y también el presidente Nayib Bukele pues pueda tomar cartas en el asunto. Pero como decimos, si ellos fueron miembros de pandillas en El Salvador, como saben, pues eso ya lo sabrán ellos. No podemos nosotros sacar alguna conclusión. Ya eso, las leyes salvadoreñas tienen sus reglas bien definidas, y Estados Unidos pues lo que hace es, si hay personas que han estado vinculadas con algún caso criminal, con algún caso acá, pues lo que hacen es estar, ¿verdad? Lo que hacen es poder detener, bueno.
Gracias, Silvia Turcio, muchas gracias por el superchat de $5, te lo agradezco mucho, muchas gracias por el apoyo.
17, donde se cree que puede llegar la caravana del presidente Nayib Bukele en breves momentos. Voy a estar pendiente acá, si no va a entrar por el otro lado, pues, pero por lo menos hemos hecho la intención de estar aquí en este lugar. Ya estamos llegando para poder brindarles a ustedes esta cobertura especial a través de Así es mi gente TV. Siempre estamos en los momentos especiales de nuestra comunidad. Aquí se cree que va a llegar, que va a estar ingresando en este punto de acá. Vamos nosotros a poder estarnos por aquí para poderle llevar a usted estas imágenes. Mientras tanto, pues estamos a la expectativa de la llegada del presidente de la República de Salvador, Nayib Bukele, que supuestamente va a entrar en este lado donde está una fuerte seguridad del servicio secreto y por supuesto también del Departamento de Estado. Aquí nosotros estamos a la expectativa de la llegada de Nayib Bukele, que supuestamente va a entrar por esta avenida principal, en las cuales pues estamos a la espera de este recorrido que va a ser desde el hotel hasta lo que es la Casa Blanca. Sin embargo, recuérdense que él cayó a la base militar Andrews el día sábado cayó en la base militar Andrews. No se sabe si tuvo reuniones el día de ayer, no ha habido lo que es alguna especificación sobre información al respecto, pero nosotros vamos a estar aquí pendientes para poder recibir y que nos dé más cuando ellos lleguen. Pero sin embargo estamos acá para poderles llevar estas imágenes de acá. Tal vez no nos quita el servicio secreto, el servicio de seguridad. Saben de que ellos son los que determinan si nos movemos o no nos movemos de este lugar. Pero aquí estamos frente a lo que es la Casa Blanca, la esquina de la 17 y la Pensilvania, donde oficialmente entran los jefes de Estado que llegan de diferentes partes del mundo. Nosotros estamos aquí a la expectativa. Gracias, Mayu Loza, vamos a saludarlos a todos ustedes. Vamos a ver quiénes están aquí, de dónde nos ven. Nolvia Moreno, gracias Blas Salmerón, Gracias también a Olga Marina, saludos para el mejor presidente en nuestra historia, dice María Orellana también, se une con nosotros a esta transmisión. Vamos a saludar también, voy de abajo para arriba, voy entrando ya de los que se quedan, pues a López Jimmy, gracias López Jimmy, gracias Jimmy, a Jimmy López, ¿verdad? También a Blas Salmerón, gracias también a Mario Bermúdez, a Jasón Lobato, a Emerson Jiménez, gracias Antonio Toledo, gracias Israel Ayala, gracias también a Jimmy López, que ya lo saludábamos, a María Orellana, también a Wilson Zavala. Ahora mismo dice las leyes están a favor del gobierno. Bueno, esos son los comentarios. Blas Salmerón también, Dani Beni Enrique, Olga Marina, Tito Domínguez, Josué Bonilla, Josué, un cordial saludo para ti, Pedro Romano, a López Jimmy,
Yes, how are you? Good to see you.
Speaking of, this is the video.
Yes, I am.
I just showed it that one. Oh yeah, this is the one I was talking about where the guy was sitting in his office recording it.
Yes, this is a really yeah, how are you?
Yeah, it's... Thank you. For something like that, probably not as fast as like...
Hey Nick, did you meet with Bukele when you were there too?
No one's getting murdered. Probably like more of his own people that are in the crowd. Yeah, probably people right about that. Start wearing a hat out.
Everybody was standing in front of the White House waiting for President Bukele to walk outside. He has a meeting with the president. And then a little bit later, we're going to have our sit down in the library first with the president to talk about everything that's going on.
That went to college. Yeah.
Estamos aquí en la Casa Blanca, ahora va a salir el presidente Salvador. Y en un rato tenemos una entrevista exclusiva para partidos con el presidente Trump in the library. Pero estamos aquí en la Casa Blanca, estamos esperando que salga el presidente Bukele de El Salvador. En un rato tenemos una entrevista con el presidente Trump, una exclusiva con Fox Noticias. Le vamos a preguntar sobre todo la economía, inmigración, la frontera, todas las preguntas que ustedes tienen de Fox Noticias.
I don't care if it's a bad position. You cannot make, yeah. Also, it was almost like just wait. He like been shot for across the edge. Just
días en los everything the border on the situation right now. Bukele, going to see God. We're covered all.
Yeah, so if you do, this is a good one. So he does it for, if you do it for 100 hours a year, which is not much, you can then fly free standby all year. So he does, and other people do as well, is going to places that other people expenses.
If you were to probably swap.
I think that's actually, but then I did the math and I was like, if I gave up the day rate to do that job,
Yeah.
are you hitting your window?
Dejemos ese like, gente, dejemos ese like, porfa, ya viene la transmisión, ya está desde la Casa Blanca, el en vivo, así que por favor, dejemos ese like, porfa.
Ready? Post.
Ready? Post. Ready? Post. Post. Ready? Run.
Two of us, right? If somebody else is squat.
gente ahora
He said the gates just opened.
I might be the one that wins this.
Saludos, Ana.
Gates open. This comes first. Press feed trails, but it'll come around a bit. Yeah, but truck comes out. It's 10 seconds.
Start recording now?
They bought the photo and over. As soon as I see Margo come out.
Ahí viene ya, gente. Ya ahorita alzaron las banderas, es porque ya va a comenzar.
I'll tell you when the lights are out on the photos.
Just say Mark.
He's like right behind all the photos off the tourist, photo website. Remember the trip? If I can't over and I can't answer, you still wait.
Yeah. At that point,
Verified line there. Well, if the family suggested that you can come and find there, you can use it. That's fair. Like the mission deals
Oh, is she in the way? Oh, okay, here.
hasta la Casa Blanca, ahí estarán teniendo una reunión y posteriormente se va a continuar desarrollando la agenda. Van a tener un momento en el que participarán comisiones de ambos gobiernos y también es importante mencionar que hemos visto acá en Washington algunos funcionarios de gobierno, entre ellos como es la ministra de Relaciones Exteriores,
We're close. We're close. Start recording? No. When you see him come out, yeah. But we're close.
I got you. No problem.
$100 likes y llegamos a los 500, gente. Púchenmele like. Ahí vienen.
Mr. President, will Similar bring Garcia be discussed? Ready, close. Ready, set. Ready, face.
President Trump, your message to Christians during this Holy Week, sir, the start of Holy Week. Do you have a message for Christians, sir, during this Holy Week, sir?
Bueno, ya está con el Presi. Ya está el Presi en la Casa Blanca. Ya ahorita traemos la transmisión desde adentro. Carlos Salazar, muchas gracias, hermano. Gracias por ese super chat de $20, te lo agradezco.
No te bloquees.
Sorry, I thought we had. I apologize. I was trying to have one on one side, one on the other. And I was like,
Va la señora Milena, ¿ves? Ahí va la Milena, mirá, todos los que han ido, ¿ves? Puche de Zulay, mi gente hermosa, Puche de Zulay. Y ahorita viene la conferencia, ya se van a pasar para adentro para la conferencia de prensa. Siga acá, que aquí seguimos todavía, mire.
Bueno, estamos en vivo desde la Casa Blanca, recién acaba de ingresar el presidente. Ahora mismo en pantalla tenemos a los funcionarios del gobierno, encabeza la ministra Loco, la embajadora de El Salvador acá en Washington, el ministro de la Defensa Nacional y también el ministro de Justicia y Seguridad, entre otros funcionarios del gabinete del gobierno. Ya están al interior de la Casa Blanca y están...
No, yo soy Rebeca.
Y ahorita se pasan para adentro la conferencia y para traer la transmisión donde va a estar reunido Nayib Bukele con Donald Trump, gente. Perdón. Ahorita se van a mover para poder hacer la transmisión desde adentro. Así que no se vaya, que seguimos todavía en la transmisión en vivo. Déjeme aquí lo reduzco un poquito para ver adentro qué es lo que está pasando más acá. Aquí está ya desde dentro de la Casa Blanca. Déjeme, lo pongo acá. Déjeme, le pongo acá. Para que se ponga acá donde ustedes, miren. Ya aquí viene la transmisión, gente, aquí viene. Ya viene desde adentro de la Casa Blanca. Lógicamente ahorita están poniendo la cámara, por eso es que le han puesto el banner pero ahorita viene. Se ha quedado un poquito pausada.
La llegada del presidente Nayib Bukele y están listos para participar de la conferencia de prensa, posible conferencia de prensa, pero por lo menos la toma oficial de la fotografía que se realizará en la sala de prensa de aquí mismo de la Casa Blanca, al interior de la Casa de Gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Estamos por movernos en este instante, sin embargo tenemos que comentarles también de que ahora mismo por lo menos se espera una reunión de unos 60 minutos o tal vez un poco más para poder entrar en detalles sobre los acontecimientos que van a discutir, hablando de la migración, hablando de las acciones de seguridad.
Demanded the people wanted to change everything, and they wanted to. He demanded, they love you, they love what you do. You know, I'm not your supporter. I want them to do, you know, for homegrown criminals next. Yeah. I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns built. You got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, that's fair. All right. It's not big enough. No, yeah. Come on. So this is a much different office than you remember. Look. This is done. Oh, you know what we'll do? Steve, you want to pull that curtain? He's appropriate to do it because he's doing such a good job. He's here with television. Yeah, you put up the... Look at that. Yep, that's the original. Wow. There are 3 of them. That's cool. Yes, that's because the light. Yes, you have to cover it. Right? Yeah, well, the light say affects it. I don't know if that's true or not. It's true. It's true. They certainly tell me it is. Yeah. Come on. We even put liberals in. Oh, well, he was 4 times there, like you. He's matured very nicely. He's a smart guy. Right?
Sir, we're going to do a photo of you two first, and then we'll have the VP come in just after. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, and now... Do one more. Put the whole thumb up. This is first. Yeah, good. Get in here. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, take it down. Okay. This is your man, right? Yes. I'll tell you who's good. Whoever sends us those tapes that we get, they become sensations in this country. You know? The tapes, getting out of the planes. That's what people want to see. Respect. They want to see respect. They don't have respect. They're starting to have it here too, but they don't have the respect. Whoever does that does a great job. Oh, we have a team, yeah. We got a good team. Can I use them? Yes. It's all yours. Even the sound, you know, the whole deal. It's very good. It's like a movie. It's a movie. It's a soundtrack, but it's real. And Cecil B. DeMille. You ever hear of Cecil B. DeMille? Great movie. The great movie maker. The greatest of them all. But no, it's really, you got to hear it. And I would say Marco has a big impact. Yes. It's all over. It's being played all over because they want to stop crime. They want to stop crime. Let's see what stop crime. It's the only way. Let them in, please. It's the only way. So you're just going to have a small gathering of journalists. So it was nice. They've got it.
Oh, okay.
They haven't been you give me the ratings.
Like one guy, hello. Really good. Careful. Watch the oval. Watch the oval office. Watch the resolute desk. We don't want it. We just sent it down first. No. We don't need cameras in. That sounded like a pretty bad crash. Six fracture. You see a broken desk. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have a friend of mine because we
we went through this together and got along very well for my entire period of time. So I knew him as a very young man. Now he's just a young man, and he's done a fantastic job. Mr. President, it's an honor to have you. Thank you. You're doing incredibly for your country, and we appreciate working with you because you want to stop crime, and so do we. And it's very, very effective. And I want to just say hello to the people of El Salvador and say they have one hell of a president. Okay, and I mean that, and I know him well. I know him as a very young man, Marco, even younger than you. You know, he started pretty young.
He'll always be younger.
Young at heart. They have one hell of a president. Okay? I mean that, I know him well. I know him as a very young man, Marco. Even younger than you. He started pretty young. Young at heart. But I want to thank you for the great job you're doing. I appreciate listening to you.
Well, it's an honor to be here in the Oval Office with the President and leader of the free world. We're very happy. We know that you have a crime problem, a terrorism problem that you need help with. And we're a small country, but if we can help, we will do it. And we actually turned the murder capital of the world, that was what I was called, right? Murder capital of the world, to the safest country that wasn't anything. And, you know, sometimes they say that we so, you know, like, it's very good. You gave them that line. You think I can use that? And in fact, Mr. President, you have 350 million people to liberate. But to liberate 350 million people, you have to imprison some. You know, that's the way it works, right? You cannot just free the criminals and think crime's going to go down magically. You have to imprison them so you can liberate 350 million Americans that are asking for the end of crime and the end of terrorism. And it can be done. I mean, you're doing it already. And I'm sure that people have seen the change in the streets. A long way to go because you're just initiating your second term. But it's clear that, you know, even in Democrat-run cities, they get help from the work you're doing. So I'm really happy to be here, honored.
Well, we had a terrible thing happen. We had allowed people to come in freely into our country from not only South America, but from all over the world. Many from the Congo in Africa, Asia, all over the world, Europe, rough parts of Europe. And they came from prisons, and they came from mental institutions, and they came from the gangs of Venezuela, other places. And hundreds of thousands and even millions of them came. 21 million people altogether, but many of those people that came, was a tremendous percentage of 1,088 known murderers, half of them murdered more than one person. This was allowed by a man who, what he did to our country is just unbelievable. So we're straightening it out, we're getting him out. But what they did and what that party did to our country, open borders, anybody could come in. As soon as I heard that, I said, every prison's going to be emptied out into our country. That's what happened. It out, and we just had numbers. We had the highest in the history of our country going into police departments. And a year ago, we had the lowest numbers. You couldn't hire
the biggest change.
Nobody's
from the lowest to the highest.
And the military now, Marines, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, every slot is, I mean, we have the best numbers we've ever had because recruitment numbers. And we've never had anything like it. We had be forgotten. It's a sin what they did, and you are helping us out, and we appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you. Actually, what you're doing with the border is remarkable. It has dropped, what, 95%? It's incredible.
God, as of this morning, 99%, 99.1% to be exact.
Why are those numbers not in the media?
Well, they get out with the fake news, you know, like CNN over here doesn't want to put them out because they don't like putting out good numbers. They only like putting out because I think they hate our country, actually. But it's a shame. You're right. Isn't that a great question? Why doesn't the media? Why don't they put out numbers?
Yeah, 99%. I mean, it's crazy, right?
We're doing
it's
great.
a crazy turnaround.
Christy, could you maybe say a couple of words about the border? How we're doing?
Yeah, it's just been absolutely phenomenal what a great leader can do. Clear direction. Our laws matter. We should only have people in our country that love us, and the Border Patrol and our ICE officers and law enforcement officers have done fantastic work. So we're proud of them. Now we just need to get the criminals and murderers and rapists and dangerous gang members and terrorist organizations out of our country. So, Mr. President Bukele, we thank you very much for your partnership. It has been wonderful for us to be able to have somewhere to send the worst of the worst and someone to partner with. And we'd like to continue that partnership because it's been a powerful message of consequences. Mr. President, you wanted people to know that there was consequences if you break our laws and harm our people and endanger families. And this is a clear consequence for the worst of the worst that we have somewhere to put them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we even had this gang member from Venezuela, one of the ones you sent, and we interviewed him just to get some information, etc., from them. And he said, "Oh, well, I got arrested 6 times, but they released me the 6th time, so I should be released again." And then he said, "Well, but what's the last thing you do?" And he said, "Well, I shot a cop in the leg, but I didn't kill him. I just shot him in the leg." And we're like, this guy was arrested 6 times here in the United States, 6 times. He was released 6 times, and in the he was released 5 times, and the last time he was sent to El Salvador, right? So he's not getting released, but the last time he shot a cop, actually, and he shot him in the leg. So these are, like you said, right? There's something broken.
It's the liberal establishment, but they're not running things anymore in this country, and we're run by, and I don't say conservative, I don't say anything, we're run by people with great common sense.
Yeah, common sense.
Because it's all common sense. Yeah. It's not liberal conservative, it's common sense.
Exactly.
And, do you allow men to play in women's sports? Do you allow men to box your women and box? Because I know you have a lot of boxing.
That's violence.
That's abuse of a woman.
Violence against women.
It's abuse of a woman.
Totally.
But we have people that fight to the death because they think men should be able to play in women's sports. And some of those sports, it wouldn't matter much. but it still matters. But some of them are very dangerous for women.
Some years ago, I would say a decade ago or so, women rights movements were pressuring so that we enacted specific laws to avoid men abusing women. And I think those laws were great because there were a lot of men abusing women. But now some of the same people are trying to backtrack on that and actually trying to make new laws allowing men to abuse women in sports. So actually that doesn't make sense.
In sports.
It doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. You know, they have weightlifting records, right?
Yeah.
A woman gets up, lifts weights, she's incredible. A guy gets up and beats her by 100 pounds. What are you going to do? A record that hadn't been broken in 18 years. You know, they put on an ounce, quarter of an ounce, eighth of an ounce for 18 years. Now they have a guy come up, ping. The whole thing is crazy. But they continue to fight. And I don't like talking about it because I want to save it for just before the next election. I say to my people, don't even talk about it because they'll change. And but I watched this morning, there was a congressman fighting to the death for men to play against women in sports. And you say to yourself, why? What are they doing, right? What are they doing? But your country's not too big in that.
No, of course not. We're big in protecting women.
We're good. Yeah. That's right. It's a very important form of protection, too.
And as you can see, most of my cabinet are women, so...
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's why you
And they're not DEI hires or anything. They're
They
just
can be
great at what they do, right?
That's right. This is very impressive.
Yeah,
This is a first. We've had women, but we've never had three of them right here. That's
4 and 3
And
men.
look who we have. You guys feel a little bit mistreated? That's good. I like it. Well, we've been advanced. I've been very advanced in that regard too. We have Pam, who's been so fantastic. Christy, and the most powerful woman they say anywhere.
I know,
in the world.
exactly.
She's rated.
They're all afraid of her.
Susie Wells. They say, oh, she's tough. Most powerful woman in the world, according to magazines. What do I know?
Yes.
But I think she probably is.
Yeah, she probably is.
Yeah, she probably is.
Congratulations.
And you know, Stephen, who's done such a great job.
Yes.
We have great
He's
people.
very famous too.
But we love working with him. He is. He really lets him have it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no games.
No. It's very good.
He knows. Do you have any questions, please? Go. Let's not start with CNN because they're just so wrong. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. You repeatedly mentioned last night that Russia's attack on Ukraine was a mistake. What is the exact mistake? And have you given Putin a deadline to actually move toward a ceasefire?
The mistake was letting the war happen. If Biden were competent, and if Zelensky were competent, and I don't know that he is. We had a rough session with this guy over here. He just kept asking for more and more. That war should have never been allowed to happen. That war, I went 4 years and Putin wouldn't even bring it up. And as soon as the election was rigged and I wasn't here, that war started. There was no way that war should have been allowed to happen. And Biden should have stopped it. And you take a look at Putin. I'm not saying anybody's an angel. But I will tell you, I went 4 years and it wasn't even a question. He would never, and I told him, don't do it. You're not going to do it. And it was the apple of his eye, but there was no way that he would have done it. All you had to do is lower oil prices. If you lowered oil prices, Biden kept the prices so high because he made it impossible to get it. If you lowered oil prices, you would have never had the war. But you wouldn't have had it with me anyway. That war would have never happened. And I think it's a great abuse. So now what do? You get a country where 25% of its land is gone, and the best locations, where millions of people are killed. You know, you haven't reported accurately the death. And this was Biden's war, and I'm trying to stop it. And I think we're going to do a good job. I hope we're going to do. They lose 2,500 young people a week, think on average. Now they're Russians and they're Ukrainians, but it's 2,000. We don't care. It's like whatever it is.
Intolerable.
They're not from your country. They're not from mine. But I want to stop it. 2,500. It's a killing field. It's like the Civil War. You take a look. I look at the satellite pictures. This should not be happening in our time. Of course, our time can be pretty violent, as we know. But that's a war that should have never been allowed to start. And Biden could have stopped it, and Zelensky could have stopped it.
and Putin should have never started it. Everybody's to blame.
Have you spoken to President Zelensky, sir, about his offer to purchase more Patriot missile batteries?
Oh, I don't know. He's always looking to purchase missiles. You know, he's against. Listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size, and then hope that people give you some missiles. If we didn't give them what we gave, remember, I gave them javelins. That's how they won their first big battle with the tanks that got stuck in the mud, and they took them out with javelins. They have an expression that Obama at the time, Obama gave them sheets and Trump gave them javelins. But just something that should have never happened. It's a really shame. The towns are destroyed. Towns and cities are, largely destroyed. They have the spires, the beautiful